Okay, Cookies here with turn 19 of a Vanheim in the Noob Orange Lobby. It's my first multiplayer game, and things are going fairly well so far, but that can all change with how this battle in Marverni goes. So let's just jump into the action. So we can see here, we've got the thugs that are planning to air raid into the back. We have the Vanheers, we have the Mercenary Spearman Company, and we have some Bakemono. For Marverni, we've got the Wall Defenders. We have a pile of boars, I think it's 60 boars, and a corps of mages in the back, including a Bloodhenge Druid, the Elder Druid that I failed to kill earlier, 2 Elder Druids, 3 Elder Druids, and more, so a number of these Boar Warriors, but also more of these Carnute Noble Warriors than I thought Marverni would have. So I'm already regretting doing the attack rear command now, but we'll see how it goes. So you see some, I think it's like Mind Burn coming out. Didn't quite do the combat speeds correctly here, but the Spearmen have been routed. So big help they were. Working our way through all these boars who are morale 18 and larger. Meanwhile in the back, we've jumped back here with our 6 vans, including our Jarl with a great sword of sharpness. And they've killed the Jarl. Now one of the... No, maybe that... yeah, I think they've killed the Jarl now. And now one of the hearses goes down. Meanwhile, our troops have broken through the gate finally. We have 1 boar retreating. Tangle Vines. Really kind of wrecking my guys. And they get 1 more in before dying. So that's unfortunate. Lost all the heroic guys that I sent back here and the Jarl. So definitely probably took more attrition than I needed to. Especially to the Mage Corps, trying to get fancy. Sometimes it's better to just not get fancy. So. But we're now the proud owners of Marverni. So we lose 4 hearses, 1 Jarl, only 11 Vanheers. We lose the Mercs, which is fine. We lose some Surf Warriors and Militia, which is fine. 5 Herdmen. So maybe only 16 troops that I cared about, but losing the 5 mages hurts. And we killed everything from Marverni. So they've been permanently vanquished. And let's go see these other battles now. So we've got Helheim pinging a throne. So we have Air 8 Anunnaki of the Sky, which is terrifying, along with a number of Springconks, lots of Enkidu and Deer Tribe. So a lot of people like to thug this throne using a thug with high shock resistance. The one thing I'll say is you want to be careful doing that because this guy has a habit of summoning air elementals, and he could do big or the medium-sized ones. So what that means is if you don't send a thug that's a large enough size, they might just get trampled to death, even if they would otherwise be okay against everything else in this army. So you do want to be careful. And then this is us clearing that province for Calum. So we've just got the last turn of these mercs. Just doing some more false fetters. Getting kind of close. And they just happen to break first. There we go. So we lose 4 of the War Shamblers, which is okay, it's our last turn with them. Get a Fire Gem, 2 Blood Slaves. And Helheim hired our now reduced War Shambler party. So yeah, we're evacuating this province, and Calum's going to move in. We're continuing to build our palisade, recruiting a hearse here, a Jarl here with 5 more sacreds. Got to start replacing those losses I had. I'm going to build a lab here to get indie nature mages. We're moving this guy here to build a lab to get the indie water mages. And we're moving this guy up here to build a lab for when we claim this, we can get the fire mages. So that should help break us into 3 new paths. Additionally, we're building a temple here. With Marverni gone, we need to try and get our Dominion in here ASAP. And we also want to patrol down some of this unrest so that we can get more income from the province. So, 200, if we got this up to like 300 or 400 income, that would be a pretty big difference. We're sending... Okay, so this is a mistake on my part. I send the Merc Captain down here to pick up these guys, and he can't do that. So soon I'm going to have to send one of the goblins to go do that. Additionally, we find the Skull Temple. Or Marverni found it, but we're going to have to try and make use of it. Little Banefire action from Long Dead Archers is nice. Long Dead Horsemen are nice. I now have access to Death 1 Indie Mages with crappy research. This is the perfect kind of mage to just go send over there and sit bringing in skeletons. Also, the air variant can create our corpse constructs so we can have our more valuable Vanadrots do other stuff. And the earth randoms can just site search, I guess, so our dwarves don't have to do it. So that should give us, Death 1, Earth 1 site searching, which is really basic, but I'd much rather have the dwarves do other things like research or just kind of, research or forge, rather than have them running around site searching, because to site search one province manually is 2 mage turns, so you can lose a lot of research out of these guys. Like, I could get 22 research in the amount of time it takes this guy to do an Earth 2 Death 1 manual site search, because you have to move to the province and then you have to search it. So, or especially something like this guy who has 14 base research to get Earth 4 site searched. I would lose 28 research every time to site search a single province. So that's why I'm going to get the, like, just tons of these bone readers. And yeah, so our mercs are probably about to go away soon. We're going to get a temple. I'm going to start preaching over here. Excited to get some more recruiting in there, getting some infrastructure up now that the first war is done. I feel like I'm pretty far behind in research because I've only got 3 2s and a 1. It's pretty bad research, especially for turn 19. So our goal is to try and catch up on research, get some siege taft that we don't have to pay upkeep for, get that on more efficient mages for doing that so we don't lose the 15 RP, and yeah, get up some infrastructure so we can hire more mages and just generally catch up on the macro side of things. Also, we can see that Abyssia has kicked off their war with Airmore. So they've got this fort under siege. Airmore is moving these troops north. I'm going to see if they go to this fort, but maybe they go up here. I don't know. And yeah. So we'll see how Abyssia does in their first war. It's maybe a little bit late to start a first war. And we have a number of independent actors who are no longer fighting or about to be no longer fighting, including myself and Helheim, as soon as Helheim storms Pangea this turn. And Ubar's not doing anything, so there's a lot of potential vulturing activity that could happen. So we'll have to see how that goes. Maybe Airmore can pull off some diplomacy and get Ubar involved on their side. I don't know. We'll see. But for now, I'm just going to try to macro. I am in talks with Abyssia over getting this and maybe this. So if the war is swinging against Airmore, I'll talk to Airmore, see if they're willing to let me out of the nap that I have with them. And I'll go ahead and move into these two, because I've already talked to Abyssia about these two as well. Seeing as how they're on the fort, they probably won't want to give this up unless something else happens. So we'll have to see what happens. Alright, and I'll see you in turn 20.